And can you hear me? Let me know down below if you can hear me, because then we got 50% of this little show going. But first of all, let me know how you lovely, sexy looking people are doing. And don't forget, this little stream of ours is only for the sexy looking people.
This dance ain't for everybody. Only the sexy people.
Thank you, Sandra. And I mean, I missed you. I missed all of you. You know, I mean, it's really, and that's why this week after coming back from France. Remember, in the end, we're also going to talk a little bit. You know, I know some of you like to hear when I share about my private life, and I'm happy that you listen and write sweet comments. But whenever I've been gone from streaming and doing videos and coming back to the studio, I know that the first stream is going to be a test stream, a terrible stream. So that's why I said, okay, the first stream is just gonna, get it up and running. Tomorrow we are gonna have Polkadot Friday, and Saturday we're gonna have cryptocurrency portfolio. However, I will say that today's stream is perhaps even more important in terms of the information I'm gonna share, because I thought it's about time, trying to sum up some of my money-making secrets. The first the first thing is I'm always honest. I don't lie about anything, except maybe, maybe Betty doesn't own all of it, right? Maybe that's the only lie. Besides that, I'm always honest. Now, the first secret is, whenever I say I don't know shit about crypto, that's God's honest truth. I really don't know shit about crypto. Anyway, I think it's time to start, and it goes a little something like this, if I remember correctly. I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps. And in case you're new to this channel, you want to stay on top of the crypto world, well then do me a favor, hit like, smash, and subscribe, and all them goodies, so that you can be notified every time we upload new videos, so that you can, and this is important to me, protect your wealth, preserve your wealth, and ultimately increase your wealth. My name is Nico Arachi, and I'm the host of the littlest crypto channel on the interweb. That's how that goes. Okay. First things first, we gotta go and look at the level. I can't wait to get to the chit chat. I want to give you all a kiss and hugs and so on. But all of you who wants that, you stay in until the end. So where do we have it? Boom. I mean, when we haven't been talking to each other for this long, right? A lot of things have been going on. So we don't need to look at the 15-minute chart. I actually just want to focus on the weekly. And I do have a little bit another secret I'm going to share with you today. The second secret, and that is, I want to make myself perfectly clear to everybody. It's not that I don't understand technical analysis. It's not that I haven't practiced it. It's not that I haven't tested it. Now, in fact, there is a bank, I don't know if you ever heard about it, it's called Saxo Bank. Now, Saxo Bank is one of the, I don't know anymore, one of the largest online, trading banks, right? I worked there many years ago. I worked there in 2020. That's actually where I started working in the financial industry. And why am I saying that? Because Saxo Bank was just a technical platform providing an online platform for trading online, forex, and you could also do leverage trading. And what I did there is that I was a sales guy here, Saxo Bank, and it was small at the time. I was in Denmark. I don't want to make this story too long. What I do want to say is that it was my job to get in new clients, and we couldn't get in clients quick enough, because every client or every trader that was trading on leverage and on margin, I think we had a burn rate of like 97%. That means that around 97% of people that were day traders, short-term traders, leverage traders, they were losing out of there. So Saxo Bank, they tried. They really tried. They understood that it's a problem that, getting in a lot of clients, but the clients, the burn rate, they're not there very long. Saxo Bank, they wanted the clients to stay long. They had hired a lot of technical specialists, analysts, trying to come up with a strategy that could actually make their clients money. This is 20 years ago. We got 2023. And I am happy to tell you that I have finally found a profit. Finally understood what technical analysis really is. Now, we all do like to look at the charts, and there are certain things that you can read from the charts. But one thing I can guarantee you, a hangman, or a golden cross, or a morning cross, or whatever all this terminology is, that's nothing but a shit show. And I will tell you why. I spend, you can believe me or not, but the facts, the statistics. Anyway, we're going to talk about that, and I have been testing it for a while. So yeah, so we're actually going to get back to the Bitcoin chart. So I like to, you know me, I like to be fundamental, I like to be long term, but I do also always trade it daily a little bit, some days yes, some days not, but that's just to be closer to the market. But I was always wrong. So whenever I did this day trading, I knew I'm going to put in a little bit of money, I'm going to lose it, and I would always lose it. So I still don't believe in short-term trading, but it can give you a substantial understanding of what is moving the market. See, I'm so excited that before we go to our 7-day moving average on the monthly, I need to tell you, you need to educate yourself. You need to go to Traders Reality. And I'm not being sponsored by anybody. I don't even think Tino knows that I'm doing this. He is the first channel, he's the first individual that actually really completely explains how it works. And I've been following Tino for quite a while. And I've also been trading. He doesn't say buy or sell. He explains what makes the market. Now, I'm not at all encouraging any one of you to go and trade there. That's not where I'm going with this. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that everything you've ever learned about technical analysis, Japanese candlesticks, how many guys do you know that actually make consistent money with that? Not a lot. And you see, it is, and that's the way I try to look at it, or the way I see it is that short-term or leverage trading investing is very much similar to going to the casino. And who always wins? The house. You see, our financial systems is nothing else than one big giant circus casino. Who always wins? The house. And that is why they're promoting all these technical analysis books and lots of financial jargon that really doesn't bring you anywhere. I am very amazed that Tino, he's so much younger than I. He's on every day. When you go to his channel, it might sound like, in the universe. Even when I started on his channel, I was like, but I just listen to him every day. And you will understand that he's actually repeating the same things over and over and over and over and over again. You can learn so much. Go over there and send Tino lots of love from me and tell him whenever he has a boomer moment, he hasn't been at our little channel. Here we know what a real boomer moment is.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a conversation. Mad love and respect to every single one of you beautiful people.
All you beautiful people. That's all we're going to talk about this today. But that is the secret, that we finally found a channel that is worth something. And in case of any of you, the moon, then just know that there are so many other technical analytic channels that sincerely don't know shit about crypto, and stay far, far away from them. But anyway, let's have a little moment here with the moon.
Takes 20 seconds and then you can start trading on Bybit. Some people call me a genius, but the only way to really win big is if you really bet big, right? You have to bet and invest a lot to be able to earn a lot. And I would only recommend this if you are actually very passionate and
absolutely incredible. Even more incredible is that all of us are right now in a massive long position over on Bybit, Phoenix, and Prime Expertise. So Bybit, Phoenix, and Prime Expertise. Bybit, Phoenix, and Prime Expertise. Absolutely incredible.
But the only way to really win big is if you really bet big, right?
Bybit, Phoenix, and Prime Expertise. Absolutely incredible.
The only really part of this that is not crypto is like a couple of cars, a couple of watches, and like, you know.
Bybit, Phoenix, and Prime Expertise.
So guys, I hope you appreciate the fun of this video. It's certainly not because I want to, discriminate his good character. It is just there are a lot of channels that are not really there for their own knowledge that they're really providing or adding value, but simply because they are there trying to make a buck by making you lose by using leverage. Anyway, we've been talking a lot about leverage, right? You see, the second top theme of today is we're going to talk a little bit about the banking system, right? We're seeing some banks going down, but you will also understand that the fraudulent monetary system is based on leverage, and it is about to implode. And we're going to see more and more banks going down. Now, I've said this on this channel many times, but we're going to give you I want to share some facts so that we are not worried. Because remember, it is a transition where we are going from traditional to digital. Anyway, now let me make myself little again, and let's look at this lovely little weekly chart here. Now, obviously, when I was not here and we saw, I mean, here it doesn't look so. Let's go on the daily, right? I mean, we saw quite. It was noisy with Bitcoin, right? Try and go in here. We can see. I even learned how to make this smaller and bigger. Anyway, so we can see from 25,000 we went all the way down to 20, right? I mean, it was weekend. I was in France. I mean, look at that, right? Look at that, all the way from up here, and then we hit the 20. But I think when we were doing the streams here last week or 2 weeks ago, and we were talking how much are we going to retrace? And I think that, if I remember correctly, the overall sentiment was we might hit 20, and then we will continue the bull trend. Now, I am a firm believer that we have left the lows behind us. I could be wrong, but I rarely am wrong. And if 20 was this, profit taking, we went down, well, then we are very much on track to making 2023 the turnaround year. Anyway, it was scary, but it was quick, it was good, and I'm still optimistic, even though there might be some traditional news that are, worrisome. Remember, keep in your mind, the future finance is being built right in front of our eyes and is being built on the blockchain. And it's a transition, I'm going to say it again, from traditional to digital. Which is why it is important also to remember that the traditional markets, they have a market cap that is so huge, and our blockchain crypto industry is so little. I really think we are going to see an uncorrelation explosion, meaning that we're going to have a negative correlation. And I've never been a fan of other analysts or YouTube channels that are saying the crypto market is correlating with the traditional markets. They have nothing in common. Nothing. Not even if you look at the market cap. I mean, so little that you cannot even take it seriously. Anyway, so let's go. What I also wanted to point out is that when we look at the weekly and the 7-day moving average, we can see that last week we did go below here. We all saw that. It was 1 week below. And it would have been, I don't know, scary if we would have seen a second week, or if this week is going to go below the 7-day moving average. I know we laugh a little, here and there about the 7-day moving average on the weekly. And I also know that we're going to laugh a lot more than when we look at it on the monthly. But somehow this pattern hasn't really disappointed us, right? I mean, here we have the monthly with the 7-day moving average. And I mean, ever since we sold, right? And we've been below the 7-day moving average. Now, this is the monthly, mind you. I mean, it's been very simple. Sometimes things, they don't have to be so complicated. And that's also why this day trading with technical indicators on Japanese little men ain't gonna work. The past is not even an indicator of the future, really, when it comes to leverage money, right? Anyway, so we can see here that this month we are high above the 7-day moving average. I don't think we're gonna close this month below 20. But hey, you never know. There can come black swan events. But let's see. Anyway, it's time to go. No, let's just before we're already using a lot of time here. So the overall market cap is above 1 trillion. We're seeing Bitcoin. I think things are good, actually, I feel. But were you scared last week? Let me know. And that's it. Let's go and have a little chit chat finally. I mean, I like the chit chats. It's me doing the chit and the chat. So who is here? Let me see. Take the pill, Tony says. Good to see you. Who is it? Vex, missed you so much. And Joni, I missed you. Marky Magdella, I love it. David Lupin, South. Tony, we just saw Tony. I'm happy you're here. CryptoCorgi and Sandra. Leopoldo Gandara. And let's see all together how many we have. Dennis here. Good to see you. And Ron, Jeremy, my good friend. Crypto Devil, how you doing? Good to see you. And let me know where you are from. Take the red pill. I mean, I take green pill, take a red pill, any kind of pills. Sci-Fi Horizons, Traders Reality, Tino. Yeah, in case, I mean, I thought everybody knew it. Just go in and look for Traders Reality and you will see it. And it's a very technical driven channel. And when you're going to go there the first time, you're going to feel so confused and overwhelmed. But just let it run in the background. And it is not, again, because you should do leverage trading or short-term trading. It is simply for you to understand the mechanics behind what is driving the market. That is why I am actually pushing for you to educate yourself there. Jay Sire, good to see you. So let's see how many views do we have today. We got 34 for that being not here for 14 days. And I also wanted to tell you another little secret. Always find yourself YouTube channels or advisors or whatever that are never trying to sell you anything. When they try to sell you something, it mostly not good. You see, I'm doing this. I've been doing YouTube for 2 years or whatever, and we have made more than only $5,000 on YouTube. YouTube is a dream. I mean, I always wanted to be a YouTuber. Anyway, guys, let's move on to the main theme of today, and that is actually the Carl the Moon. Yeah, everybody loves Carl. I mean, anyway. It's always difficult to dive into these deep topics. Remember, I've been investing or trying to invest for more than 20 years of my life. So you come together to to gather some secrets. Now, I guess this is not a secret anymore, but it is very important that everything you read in the mainstream media, everything you hear your politicians say, everything that has to do with the fraudulent monetary fiat system, whatever they say, you have to anticipate exactly the opposite. Remember, the Federal Reserve, the monetary systems, they are the house, right? We're referring to a casino, trading. You always gamble against the house. You also, let's say when you do, it's against the market makers when it comes to investing. So I'm not going to say that this is the way that you should think, and you should come here to my channel and you should get my view, right? Because you go over to another channel and somebody have had the experience, gotten unlucky by always investing wrong, but they're still convinced that it is the right way. Now, what I'm going to talk about today, it could have a touch of conspiracy theories. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. The way that I look at it is that we have some very well-meaning people running most of the world, but they're simply not smart enough. And I'm sure that by sharing, the obvious mistakes that we are seeing with the system that they have rolled out, and I'm talking about, the fiat-based system backed by nothing, I'm sure that they will, They will also agree once they really understand when we are seeing the global economy implode. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't think they did it on purpose. They're just not smart enough. Why don't we look at it like that? The United States Federal Reserve System. Well, for those of you who doesn't know, of course, this is not, it's not a government entity, right? It is a private institution. It is as Federal Express. What you need to understand, and I'm going to try to make this real simple. I mean, you don't have to, we can make anything and everything in life really, really complicated. But life isn't so complicated. Because we simply, as human beings, we don't have the capacity to really understand complex things. So, the monetary system in itself is very simple. But there has been, they are making smoke mirrors and trying to implement financial technical jargon and trying to make a lot of layers that is disguising the simplicity of what we are seeing. So I'm not going to really go through the money mechanics, but I do want to, I know that currently people, they're scared. We saw this bank, I forgot the name, just going broke, and oh my God, is this so bad? Well, it is bad, but it's nothing new. And that's what I want to run you through today. You see, the Federal Reserve, which was founded in 1913, obviously, and try whenever, because I don't want to go too much back in history and you think, this is an old lesson. But a lot of the rhetoric, a lot of these sentences that I'm going to, point out and read are exactly going to be implemented when it comes to implementing the CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. So it doesn't matter that this was more than 100 years ago, right? And this is also usually the time span that it takes for a fiat-based monetary system to implode. Usually it takes around 100 years. And if you are not aware with a fiat-based monetary system, it means that the democratic elected government has chosen to outsource everything that has to do with money to a private institution. And where the money is backed by nothing. It's completely ridiculous. But what it also means is that the Federal Reserve, they don't want any competition, right? They want a monopoly, which they have when it comes to America, but they want it all over the place. And when we look, so we are, and this is exciting, we have actually gone almost 10 years. No, not even. Now, I said that the Federal Reserve was founded in 1913, but we actually should count from the moment that the US dollar got taken off the gold standard. And I think that was in, when was that, 1932? So we still actually got 10 years. We still got 10 years maximum until the US dollar is really going to implode. And the only way that you can keep a fiat-based system alive is by keep printing money. The way that you can control and fabricate recessions and economic disasters, downtrends, is by retracting money. So you put more money into the system, you see the stock market go up, you take money out of the system, and we got a recession. You can mastermind a bit. So prior to 1913, the public, we the people, we were told that the Federal Reserve, and we will be told that the CBDC will be an economic stabilizer, and inflation and economic crisis, that's going to be a thing of the past. But history, right, has shown us that nothing has been further from the truth. And the fact is that those smart, good, well-meaning bankers, they actually created for themselves a streamlined machine that enabled them to buy the world. Basically a printer that could just print and was backed by nothing. And it's amazing what they have bought with that printer in the last 100 years. Anyway, by 1900, I'm just going by the United States, they had around 10,382 commercial banks. And that number did continue to grow until it reached an all-time high of 30,812 banks in the United States, and that was in 1921. However, by 1934, after the banking crisis from 1930 to 33, the number of banks had fallen to 14,000. and here these statistics that I have, that by the end of 2017, the number has fallen to below 5,000. I don't even want to, I can't even imagine where it is now. Now we're down to, I don't know what. And most of the banks, even if you saw it by end of 2017, it was 4,900. Most of the banks, you have some shelf bank company doing something, but not really, is not percentage-wise a big player. This is going very much towards monopoly. And this is what, let's say, these smart people that, own the monetary system, the Federal Reserve, shouldn't use those words. That is obviously what they want. Competition is a thing invented by the devil. So the banking monopoly. So we can see here that from 1914 to... The reason why I'm going so much back in history is because what is happening now, these banks that are going bankrupt, they've been going bankrupt since 1913, and it's a continuous trend. But of course, we as human beings, we can't really remember what was going on 100 years ago unless we come here and have a little chit-chat about this together, you and I. So anyway, from 1914 to 1919, the Fed substantially increased the money supply. It's always about, you create economic good times by increasing the money supply, and you create economic crisis by extracting, by taking the money out of the system. That's how simple it is. That's it. So anyway, they increased the money supply, resulting obviously in extensive loans to small banks and the public. That's why we were seeing in 1919 they increased to many, many banks. But then in 1920, the Federal Reserve deliberately contracted credit in an extreme way, which resulted in banks having to call in a large number of loans. And just like we had seen in the 1907 crisis, we saw bank runs, bankruptcies, and systemic collapses occurring on numerous competitive banks, which were, let's say, not favorable or outside the Federal Reserve system. And what happened is that it was just consolidating the monopoly of, say, the Fed team, right? Here you can see, I found here a chart. This is actually the number of banks that we've seen in the United States. If we go back to 1837, we can see not a big amount of banks. And then it went up to almost 30,000. And now we're really going down. And by the way, I want to show you this. You see, now let me first, it is very important that you understand that the future of finance, as I've said many times, is being built on the blockchain. But there is, let's say, there is a disagreement between the existing commercial banking system and the Federal Reserve. Until now, the Federal Reserve, who was creating the money, were using the entire banking system as distributors. Now, if you want to try to make a parallel, these distributors, once it comes to the blockchain, are no longer a necessity. So we need, or the Fed needs to kill those little banks so they're not going to make any troubles and say that the CBDC is a bad thing. And I'm going to try to elaborate a little bit on that here. We all talk, you see, this here is a chart you probably have seen before, but this is actually traditional banking versus the future. DeFi, but don't call it decentralized finance. The future is centralized finance, but it's on the blockchain. But you can see here the difference. Up on the top, we got the blue, right? So imagine that the first point of creating money is the Federal Reserve, right? And then they then give it to the to the saving banks and the commercial banks, and they would then spread the money to you and I and to small businesses. You can see here on the pink down below, instead of, you see, it's not a super great made slide here. It shouldn't, we can see here the sender, which is a man, and the receiver, which is a lady. I would actually take this sender away, and that would be the Federal Reserve, right? They are creating the money, And then I think it's pretty good made with this pink thing. And these are the DeFi protocols, such as Aave, such as a Compound, such as Synthetics, such as Curve. And of course, an oracle in between, Chainlink. They are very much, from my point of view, going to be the centerpiece of this decentralized financial application on the centralized settlement layer of Ethereum. So when the question is also very often, we ask ourselves, is it CeFi, is it centralized finance versus DeFi? No, not at all. Not at all. Federal Reserve, in order to implement the CBDC, which is going to, be the ultimate solution against the imploding current monetary system, need to get rid of all these banks. And this is kind of like the way that I see it, the last few, individual banks that are gonna be blown away. But let's see if that, I could also be wrong. I also want to point out here, how do we, and I'll try to do it quickly. You see, we're always talking about the interest rates, right? How high they are. We know we've got high interest rates. Well, then we are being told a story, then you get more money with the bonds, and that the stock market might not go, perform as well. And then we could see a recession, or we could see a bear market, right? I mean, this is this basic terminology that we work with. Now, the Federal Reserve and the European Central Bank, they're the ones that create the money, but they have then, established some administration companies like the Bank for International Settlements. See, the Bank for International Settlements, I call it always the mother of all central banks, but it is in reality not the mother of all central banks. It's the regulator of all central banks. The Bank for International Settlements, they have never even, printed $1 of their own money. They're basically just being told what to do. Otherwise, you see, I always refer to Dr. August, right, who's the managing director of the Bank for International Settlements. And no way in hell do I believe that he is the man who is behind all this ingenuity, right? In case you don't know who that is, he is Dr. August. All they do there at the BIS is having big lunches and go to some seminars, and then they implement, or they distribute the new banking rules and laws. And you need to understand Basel 1, 2, and 3. You see, Basel 1, 2, and 3 it was set out as, it's a set of international banking regulations. Okay, let me just read. Issued by the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision to strengthen global capital and liquidity standards. Now, it was developed in response to a historical financial crisis. So the Basel 1, 2, and 3 that's what they are, guidelines for banks. And these guidelines provide exact information on how low the capital reserve of the bank can be. You see, if you own a bank, remember, you, especially in the US, right, you are at the mercy of the Fed. So how do you really get money into the system? How do you circulate it into the system? I'm really going to try. It is, of course, a complex thing. But the Federal Reserve, if you are a bank, then you are allowed to issue bonds. Sell these bonds to who? To the Federal Reserve. That way, the Federal Reserve, they will inject electronic money into your bank. So if we sell a bond worth 1 million, we sell it to the Fed. The Fed will give us 1 million. We can then leverage that up. You see, that's the beauty. We can leverage it up and give loans. So we have 1 million now, a little newfound bank, and we can lend out 10 million. That's exactly the same like leverage trading. If it goes against you, it doesn't have to go very much against you. And you will lose it all. You see, we all know that this fiat-based monetary system needs expansion, right? That's why we also see, the more money that's coming into the market, we are seeing that the economy is doing better and going better. But they need that more and more money is being pumped into the market. Therefore, I mean, the Basel 1, 2, and 3 are being, the way that they present it is like it's conservative. They're making, the BIS is making sure that your money is safe with these banks. But it is the exact opposite. Now let's run through this very quickly. The Bank for International Settlement, so Basel 1, 2, and 3, that's been over the last, 30 years. Basically, Basel 1 was that you had to hold like 10, I might be a little off here with the numbers, but that a bank would have to hold 10% of the reserves. Then there was like, we need more money into the economy. Now you only need to hold 5% capital requirements. That was also too little. We need more money to circulate into the economy. So they came out with Basel III, and now, some banks, I mean, it's a little more complicated, but basically the bank has to hold like 1 or 2% reserves. Now think about that for a second. If you go to Bybit or Femex or whatever it's called, and you go in there and you open up a position with 25, 10 times leverage, we all know, in case you have tried it, you know that position doesn't have to move a lot before you lose it all, right? Especially when we do some day trading or some second trade, and that is actually, it's exactly the same what the banks are doing. They're gambling away on leverage in order to, to increase the profits. It's not really about increasing the profits. It is about keeping this fraudulent economy going. So that's what it's about. Let's just go back here. We need to go through this Basel. I'm trying to make it a little bit more exciting, but I don't know if I'm really succeeding with that. So the next thing that obviously is coming is the central bank CBDC, and I don't know when and how, but I think it's being rolled out. And I think I actually finished here with my little presentation about it was good. Happy. Just to give you another visual slide of how it could be. The global CBDC development, right? So you can see on the left, we got the central bank who's going to launch, which is the Fed. They're going to issue the digital currency. But then they're not going to use these savings banks, the commercial banks, or any of those banks we're currently seeing. They don't need them, their help to distribute or circulate the money. No. It's just all gonna be transferred directly from the Federal Reserve to the people's wallet to commercial wallets. And then obviously we have platforms, as I've said before, like, as you can see on the right, Curve, Balancer, Synthetics, Compound, Uniswap, Maker, and Aave, the base layer of Web 3.0. Guys, I think this calls for a Bahama Mama moment, because I'm happy that we got through this. I hope this also, so what I was trying to talk about here is that's why I think that we're going to see the future finance, the crypto markets going to never really correlated with the traditional markets from my point of view. This is why I always say, let's invest in the quality top coins. And remember when I say the quality top coins, because in reality, I don't know shit about crypto, so I don't want to go and find too many of those little shit coins, and we might burn our fingers. Hey, I forgot one thing. This is not financial advice, and I could be completely wrong about everything. I just wanted to give you my perspective. Don't do what I do. Don't even think I know a thing or two about anything. Anyway, let's go to the chit chat and see if anybody has, some comments or tell me I should just shut this channel down right away. So here we go. Queen is back. Good to see you. Lots of love. Thor Ham. That's not good. What not? Well, let me know if it's not good. We can always no face. Good to see you. Can't wait for that. DeFi on the CFI. Yeah, I think I think we have to look at things from two different points of view. I'm not happy about the CBDC when it comes to programmable whatever, but I'm certainly happy that you and we are here so early. I mean, the potential. And if we find and we identify the right coins at the right time, which I really think, I cannot see how we can go wrong here. Just need to, be patient. Still a lot of mistakes. Don't buy high and sell low. That's very bad to do. You know, we don't do that. Maybe just to point out here, the US stock market is still 40 trillion, the US bond market 46 trillion, right? And the crypto market doesn't really have a trillion, even though we see that on coin market cap, but you know, that's also manipulated, because if anyone is going to start a flash sale, you'll see there's probably only 200 or 300 million in this, in the entire cryptocurrency industry. That's how I view it, at least. So, no, CBDC is not promising. It's efficient, that's for sure. Okay, guys, I want to share one, I'll do that after. If you really want to understand this monetary system, you should go in and look at a movie, well, a YouTube documentary, which is called The Money Masters. It's an old one, you know, made like 8 years ago or something. It's almost 4 hours long. Now, in case you can't find it, then I will send you the link. But it's very, very, very interesting. And the last thing, if you don't believe me, because you don't, you know, why should you? Try to educate yourself based on historical facts. I know that in today's media, we're not allowed to, it's very difficult to really get to the truth or to the bottom of things. But if we go down, a little bit down in history, there are a few good men. Not many, but there have been a few men that have actually, you know, have credibility to be smart individuals, and we should listen to them. Just like, you know, one we might know is Ron Paul, right? And the Fed. I mean, he comes out with great things. But if we go a little bit further back in history, we can actually see it's always been a fight between one camp that did not want a centralized institution being responsible for the monetary system, and the other camp was always weaker because they didn't have the money. They were against it, right? So, you know, people say money can't buy happiness, but it sure as hell can buy almost everything else, right? Oh, guys, that's it from me today. In question, not sure I've missed. Are you already full deployed? Are you still keep cash for low levels? No, we're going to do, I mean, I'm going to do cryptocurrency portfolio in 2 days on Saturday. It's also difficult. I mean, remember, I try to do this broad for everybody, right? And I live off of this. I certainly don't live off my of this YouTube channel. So of course, I have a lot of income also coming from the staking. And no, I'm not fully in that term. But it's also always hard to explain what is full, right? Because a well-diversified portfolio also means that you have some real estate. It also means that you have other, you know, areas of income. So if we talk just specifically about cryptocurrency, no, I'm not 100% invested, but that's also maybe because, you know, no, because even if we will speak about this on Saturday, but even, you say you're always scared, where are we going to see the 12? There can always be a black swan event. So I'm not fully invested, and and even if we're only going to go up from here, I don't feel like I'm missing out, because as we're going up, there will be huge amounts of opportunities. In the end of the day, it's always about averaging in and averaging out. You will never never sell at the exact high, and never sell at the exact low. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, crypto. Almost. Anyway, guys, thank you, J Dubs, Bear Dubs, no more Bear Dubs. Yeah, we all love Ron Paul. Yeah, so that's it. So everybody who came here for the crypto news, that's it. I'm gonna, what am I say about my private situation? I always get sad when I talk about it, but I wanted to show a little video of the boys, but then we didn't have really time to. I will do that for tomorrow. I will upload it. But for those of you who do care, in June is going to be the day where I'm going to the court for the second time in France, where I'm appealing my case. Currently, I'm seeing my boys 8 hours every second week, and when I have to go from Ukraine to France, it's a long way, and that's why my personal situation has really fucked up my a lot of aspects of life. But now we have March, and June seems to be just around the corner. And when I see my children, my little angels, especially the boys, also my daughter, but I don't spend so much time with her. but it gives you. I feel like I have overcome the worst. So yeah, not so much private really to say. I will share that video tomorrow then, because we just need to do a little trick so you can see how fun they are. I love you all. I really truly do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. And I can tell you, in this very difficult situation of mine the last year, I mean, if I didn't have the channel, if I didn't have ultimately you and all your comments, also the critics, I mean, I even like Witness 101 who always says I'm a dumb fuck. No, it really keeps me going, keeps me alive, and that's really why I do it. And I really, every time when I make a stream and the information that I provide, I really try to double check it and triple check it, and not just to bullshit you. I love you. See you tomorrow. Stay strong. And don't forget, Kitty, she loves you. Oh, okay. If I would do this streaming every day, I would be, better and better. But there we go. Let's take the lions, because we are lions.
Leadership, bravery. Sheep follow the leader. They follow the herd. They don't know where they are going. Many times they are led to the slaughterhouse, but they keep following. They don't lead. They don't use their mind. A lion leads. It's about having the courage to stand and fight for your life, having the strength to go bravely in your own direction, even if others walk away. You tread your own path. Only you know what's best for you. Only you know what path to take. Only you know your courage, your strength, your heart. Everyone has the heart of the lion inside of them. Let it out. Let it scream out of you. Like the lion, unleash the beast in you.
Attitude is what you think, what you do, and what you feel about yourself. Attitude is everything in life. Guess why? Whether you rise or fall, everything is based upon the attitude that you showed up at that moment. Your attitude determines your altitude. Listening carefully. I've been through tough times. I've experienced it, and I want you to know that it wasn't my money that brought me this far. It was my attitude towards life. It was my attitude to keep going when the going gets tough. That is the lion attitude I'm talking about. The question is, what is your attitude towards life? What do you think of yourself as I'm talking to you now? Do you think of yourself as how God thinks of you? Or you think of yourself as how friends and family members think of you? You need the lion attitude. The attitude to take charge of your destiny. You need the lion attitude that says, I can. You need the lion attitude. The attitude that says, I will, because I'm bold enough to fight. You need the lion attitude if you are standing in for greatness. Real lions, they are hungry when the time comes for their mission. Lions are not followers. They are leaders who lead the rest of the animals. Become a lion. Be fearless. Don't talk. Walk the talk. Real lions, they demonstrate who they are. A lion does not seek respect. They command respect and authority because they know they should be respected. Be a lion. A sheep follows the leader. A lion leads. It's about having the courage to stand and fight for your life. Having the strength to go your own direction. even if no one believes in you. Follow your heart. Only you know what is best for you. Only you know the path to take. You have the heart of a lion inside you. Let it out. Don't fit in. Stand out and use your gift.
The lion is certain. There are no maybes with the lion. This is my decision and I will attack until the outcome is mine. No one will push me around. No one will tell me where to go or what to do. If I want something, I will go after it with everything I have inside me. The sheep is not certain. That is why the sheep follows the herd, not knowing where they are going, not caring, just drifting through life, being pulled and prodded, being sheared from head to toe until there is nothing left to give. And that is what I see in many of you. Life, the world, and society is shredding you of your very self. Head to toe, you lose your own unique footprint. You become what others want you to see, not what you want to be. Don't let anyone push you around. Be like a lion. Roar so loud with your own spirit that no one will doubt you ever again. No one will question your goals. No one will dare challenge you again, because you certainly will shine through like the lion.